Hi, I'm Marcus.
And hi, I'm Floris.
We will be the tour guide of this cultural tour.
This is the start of our tour. We will start giving you all information about the oldest bridge in the Netherlands. After that, we will go to the old city wall and old gate. Then we will continue walking to another part of the city wall. After that, we will walk to the famous Vrijthof and show you some nightclubs. And at the end, we will walk to Onze Lieve Vrouwplein, and we hope that we can give you some new insights of the beautiful city of Maastricht. Enjoy!
We are now walking to the eldest bridge in the Netherlands. The bridge is called the Saint Servaas Bridge, named after a 4th century bishop of Maastricht. Before it was named after this bishop in 1932, it was known as the Maas Bridge, because of the river the Maas that it crosses. The bridge was built from 1280 to 1298. The bridge collapsed in World War II, was rebuilt after World War II, but because of high traffic collapsed again another time. After this, the city of Maastricht decided to build 2 new bridges, and as soon as they finished those, in 1990, they started renovating the Saint Servaas Bridge, and this time made sure that it was able to withstand all the traffic. Today the bridge is a cycling and walking bridge, so no cars are allowed on there. When walking across the bridge, you will see the shopping street with a couple of popular stores here in the Netherlands, such as the Bijenkorf and Aspect. These are stores where you can shop nice and luxury clothes for not really an affordable price. As you can see, the bridge is built with arches. This is a Dark Ages method that was used to make it so stable with bricks. Otherwise the bridges would collapse easily because they didn't have the modern day metal and cables that we normally use. On your left hand side you see one of the new bridges that was built later in the late 1990s because of the instability of this bridge. When walking across the bridge, you can look out on the Maas, which is a beautiful river, and look to both the bridges that were newly built when this one collapsed. We continue our tour to the city wall, which is near the city park, which is a very popular park I will tell you something about in a minute. When we continue this walk, we will walk through the shopping street I just told you about and next to a couple of pubs. This will be a fun way for you to, when it is possible again, have a small drink. If you start the tour late, if you start the tour early, you can just walk by and enjoy the view of the beautiful river the Maas. As you can see here, you see the logo of the city Maastricht, which is a star, and this represents the building of the wall where we just arrived. The city wall was one of the key structures to defend the city in the Dark Ages, but now is used a lot for climbing or just having fun, laying next to when drinking a beer in the sun, and looking at and making pictures of because it looks very nice. If you will do this tour after the COVID restrictions are done, you can take a break here and enjoy the sun if you chose a nice day to do the tour. or you can just keep on walking towards the next piece of the wall, which is a roundel a bit further ahead, where we will tell you a bit more information. The best part of the wall nowadays is the fact that it is still very good looking and renovated, which is not very common amongst the modern cities, where mostly in the Netherlands the walls are destroyed or pulled down because it was no longer necessary to defend from invaders or other threats. What we see here is a roundel called the Five Heads or the Three Pigeons. It is a late 15th century and early 16th century roundel which was built for protection of the city. A roundel is a half-round wall piece that lays on the same level as the wall itself, which is used to place cannons to flank shoot possible invaders during a raid or invasion. It is part of the city park here in Maastricht, which is a beautiful park where we are standing now, where a lot of people come together when the sun is out to have a nice drink, and it will be very crowded in here once the COVID measures are lifted. In 2019, a piece of the wall collapsed and is being renovated at the moment.
This is the L-port. This gate is the former gate of the Maastricht. The gate was part of the first city wall of Maastricht. The gate dates back to the 13th century, making this gate the oldest gate in the Netherlands. In 1223, the Hertog of Brabant gave the order to build the city wall. The exact date of the gate's construction is unknown. It is estimated that the gate has been used for defense for about 2 centuries. The gate no longer served as a defense when the second city wall was built. After the gate and wall were no longer used as defense, the gate collapsed like a ruin. The gate was only rebuilt after 400 years. Now we will continue walking to our next stop, in which we will interview a family from Maastricht. As you can see here, we walk through a typical street of Maastricht. The architecture of the houses gives a southern and Burgundian feeling that we never get tired of. The city of Maastricht is and will remain a city where it feels as if you're on holiday in France, for example. Not only because of the houses, but also because of the height difference. at the next stop. During this stop, we went to a family from Maastricht. We asked them some questions and we want to figure out why this is such a Burgundian city. During that stop, we got some new insights about the daily life of people that live in Maastricht. One aspect that we would like to talk about is the food and the afternoon snacks, well known as borrels in the Netherlands. This family told us that they really like to eat an extensive afternoon snack. When they have an appointment with friends, they grab a bottle of wine and some really good snacks. This is also something that makes the city so Burgundian. It's not just the architecture of the city, but also the way of living and the way of eating something. We know that a lot of people all over the Netherlands like to have some good food, but here in Maastricht it is a basic and daily thing to do. Now we're walking to our next stop, which is the city wall of Maastricht. As you can see, we are back at the city wall. Unfortunately, the city wall was closed and we could not enter it. Therefore, we decided to walk so that we can show you some nice shots. Here we almost arrive at an art piece that we found very interesting. It is a cage with a giraffe and the girl in it. It was designed in 1997. It was first used for bears, but after people started to feel sad, the bears were moved to an old-fashioned zoo. From then on the cage was empty, so nothing was done with it. Then an artist decided to make this design. Now we're on our way to the Vrijthof, which is the most famous square in Maastricht. This is the French nobleman who became famous through the book The Three Musketeers. He was killed in 1673 when French troops besieged Maastricht. The ceramic artwork replaces a bronze statue of the French nobleman that stood there between 1977 and 2006. That statue was stolen.
we arrive on the Vrijthof, which is one of the most popular squares in Maastricht. As you can see, there's a parking lot for when you come here by car, and some nice sculpture which is brand new in the last month. On the Vrijthof is André Rieu's playing ground and a lot of bars in the background. As you can see, a lot of people are not here right now due to the COVID measures, but when the COVID measures are lifted, this will be one of the busiest squares in Maastricht. When you come here, you have to visit the church, but also the bars here. You can take a nice terrace and drink something, have some nachos, maybe some bitterballen, one of the most famous Dutch cuisine, and just enjoy your day. I do recommend doing this tour on a sunny day because then it will be so much better.
We got here at our last stop, which is Onze Lieve Vrouwenplein. This is a square in the center of Maastricht. The square is in the oldest part of the city, just outside the late Roman Castellum. The square owes its name of the Basilica of Our Lady, which dominates the square with its massive westwork. Onze Lieve Vrouwenplein is best known for all the restaurants that are very popular in the summer and the beautiful church. the beautiful church on the Onze Lieve Vrouwplein. This church is a Romanesque church in the center of the Dutch city. The building is a national monument and belongs to the top 100 list of National Agency for the Preservation of Monuments, drawn up by the Monuments in 1990.
I hope you all enjoyed it.
And thank you for watching our tour.